Everything you're going to see in this video is completely shot on my iPhone and this DJI microphone, which is really cool. And I'll go over like what the actual setup is in a minute. If I'm being completely honest, we really just needed coffee and these little syrup things for water, and that was enough of a reason to come and get stuff. We ran out of coffee this morning. We had to drink the Reserve, which is actually the Reserve is in a little decorative like thing that I'm technically not allowed to have, but we had nothing else, so it wasn't very good. I've been using this vlogging setup, well, not exclusively, but mostly for the past couple of weeks, and I will say that honestly, so normally I shoot on a Sony a7S III, and it's an amazing camera. It's just very, very expensive, but I will say, first, that camera does look better than this iPhone. But I will say that iPhone gets like 90% there, and a lot of times 90% is all you really need, especially with just how small and low profile this is. When I was in the grocery store, I didn't have to carry around a big camera. I didn't have to worry about security guards yelling at me, which has all happened before actually at that Publix and a couple other places too. Once you like walk in with a big camera, it grabs people's attention. Because of that, being able to have something like this where it gets me a similar image, but it's just much smaller, that's amazing. And on top of that, you already have an iPhone, or chances are you have some kind of smartphone that takes some kind of video. So all you have to really do is have some kind of audio source, and I think the camera, or the bundle that I got, is just one transmitter and one receiver on DJI's website. It was like $219, and you can even just get the transmitter, which would just be $100, and you would do it over Bluetooth. But I will say with Bluetooth, it's not nearly as good. But my point being, you can have a really good vlogging setup that looks comparable or similar to like big expensive camera setups like the one I have, for literally like $200. But all that being said, I'm gonna go over, like I said in the beginning, I'm gonna go over what I actually carry. But I will have to use my Sony camera for the next shot because I have to show you what this whole thing is. So technically it's not all gonna be captured on this, but most of it will be. Alright, so for the setup, like I said, it's going to be pretty simple. It's just going to literally be my phone, which you already have, and then one transmitter and then one receiver. And the transmitter is just going to plug into the bottom of the Lightning port or the USB-C port, whatever your phone takes. And you can mount it either way. You can mount it facing this way or the other way, which is really nice when you're like vlogging, because then you can see the levels on the actual receiver. To turn the microphone on, all you do is just double click on this and hold. Okay, so that's turning on. While that's doing that, then I'll typically turn this on. You'll get like a little vibration letting you know it's turned on. And then the thing I really like about this setup is it makes you confirm that you're using the Lightning connector. And then that way it shows like audio is being pumped into the iPhone. That way you know that it's not, your iPhone isn't bypassing this and just using its own microphones. It's actually using the transmitter and receiver from the DJI mic. That's huge, because I've had things in the past where I thought I was recording using the external microphones, using the non-Apple or iPhone microphones, and I wasn't, and my audios were just it was completely ruined. And then a really cool feature with this setup that I just recently found out is if I'm like sitting here recording something and let's say like I put the camera down and I don't want to like risk like moving the camera or turning it off video mode or whatever, I can just enable the recording using the transmitter. To enable the recording without touching my phone, all I'm going to do is click the link button on the transmitter, which is the first button right here, and I'm recording, which is really convenient. You wouldn't think that would actually it would actually be beneficial, but it really does help a lot. And yeah, anyway, how I typically transport these things when they're not plugged into my phone is one, I'll either just leave it plugged in like this because it's not super heavy, and just put this in my pocket. But if I don't want this dangling off of my phone, then I can use the provided pouch that comes with this specific package. With the more expensive package, you get the actual charging case and everything, but with this package, you just get a pouch. But honestly, it's actually pretty nice. On this side, you can put the transmitter inside here, or the receiver right here, and the transmitter in this little pouch right here. And then you can have like other accessories, like I have like the extra the USB Type-C connector for this if I ever wanted to connect it to like something that took that. But honestly, how I transport it when I'm carrying it in this is I simply just put the transmitter and receiver loose on this side and then zip it up. And it's like kind of padded, so it's pretty well protected. But sometimes like having this in my pocket isn't always, that's not always ideal. So what I've actually done is I found this random like little bag that came with a lavalier mic that we have. And I put a little anti-dehumidifier in here just because it can be kind of sweaty in Tennessee, and it doesn't like add any weight, so I figured it couldn't hurt. And all I do is I just put these guys in here, and it makes the package a lot smaller. Yeah, that's how I typically store them, and that's how I use them. And everything that you saw up until this shot was just with these three things. Like all the audio and all the visuals and everything was with these three items. That's incredible. So that's pretty much how I use and like travel with this whole mobile vlogging setup. And honestly, it's probably the thing that I'm going to use the most because it's the most practical. I really do like GoPros or like the Insta360 Go 3s or even the DJI like little Osmo pocket cameras, but that all requires me to carry like an extra like phone size type of thing versus I'm always going to have my phone and I just have to have the transmitter and the receiver and I can get like good sounding footage. So for me, like the cost of bearing that or carrying that around is far less than having to take a separate camera system. Because if I'm going to take like a Pocket 3, then I might as well just take my Sony a7S III because I know I'm going to get incredible images. Basically what I'm saying is if I want to keep it light and keep it small and minimalistic, then I'm going to keep it as light and as small and as minimal as I possibly can. And if I'm going to have a dedicated camera, then maybe just have a Sony a7S III. I do want to get the Pocket 3 though. That's on our list to actually get this year. And I think I got Savannah on board with it too. But this is great too. This is amazing. All in and of itself. It fits a specific need and a specific role. And if that's what you need, and that's if you want the most cost-effective thing possible with the best quality, then this is probably your best bet. I just contradicted myself, but you get the point. You know what I'm saying, right?